Spencer Pratt's reality show fame earned him early headlines when he first entered the race for mayor of Los Angeles. But since that time, he has gotten almost as much attention for appearing in a slew of AI-generated videos, portraying him essentially as the city's savior. In fact, in one, he's even portrayed as this Batman-like superhero, with incumbent Mayor Karen Bass playing the part of the Joker, images of burning Hollywood sign. You get the imagery. Now, Pratt has denied involvement in making the videos, even calling them fan-made in a now deleted Instagram post, but that hasn't stopped him from reposting the videos, which, by the way, have racked up millions of views. And these videos may be a look into the future of political advertising. You had former presidential candidate Jeb Bush even called the Batman video, quote, maybe the best political ad of the year. But as with most things, AI, there is just as much criticism as praise, which is something that Los Angeles Magazine learned firsthand when they published a special election issue featuring an AI-generated cover that depicts AI-generated versions of mayoral candidates Nithya, Raman, and Pratt posing somewhat cozily together as LA burns in the background. And while Karen Bass, her face doesn't appear on the cover, there's this enormous flag of Ghana, which references her trip to West Africa during last year's Palisades fire. It stands in for the current mayor. It's been a big source of controversy for her. And when the magazine unveiled the cover, it posted this on social media as a way of an explanation, saying, quote, the cover is fake, the crisis is real. Whether you love it, hate it, question it, or can't stop looking at it, this is the LA we're living in. But the cover and the explanation, it provoked some strong reaction online, with some saying that even though the candidates didn't want to be photographed together, they could have used a human graphic designer, not an AI, to produce it. So the question is, was using AI to create that cover a mistake? Was it a glimpse at the future? Was it genius? Here to give his take is Los Angeles Magazine's co-owner, legendary trial attorney Mark Geragos, whose podcast, Two Angry Men, Reasonable Doubt, they're available wherever you get your podcasts. Let me tell you something, Mark. It's great to see you. I'm spoiled. I saw you in Vegas. You were right next to me. You were on the pirate ship with me. It's not the same. It's not the same, but I'm happy to have you on nonetheless. Okay, where did the idea for the AI cover come from?
It actually was born out of the fact that it started as we do a cover that has all of the candidates, 14. Then it quickly whittled down to should we have 5, and then it became apparent that there was going to be basically a battle amongst the 3. But none of them, all 3 of them were extended an invitation. All 3 refused to pose together. And so then it evolved into, at the time that it went to print, who's going to be a battle for the number 2? Because in this race for mayor, it's 50+1. So nobody, at least as we're sitting here right now, believes for a second that anybody was going to get over 50%, and the battle would be for number 2, and those were the number 2. Plus, they couldn't be more polar opposite in a lot of their views. And yes, you did see the symbolism of the Ghana flag flying in the background. And I thought, there has been some controversy, but it has illustrated, I don't think when this went to print, anybody understood the magnitude of the AI kind of revolution in terms of the political sphere. But it turned out that we became somewhat prescient.
And look, some would say, hey, any press is good press, and it's getting a lot of attention. I guess when you look at it, the key thing is it may be a fake, right? It may not be a real photograph. They wouldn't pose together, but the idea is the reality. That's the key. This is the reality that LA is facing. What do you mean by that? What do we not know? As we're watching this from across the country, we're paying very careful attention to this race. What should we be knowing about the situation in LA and about this mayor's race?
Well, one of the things, LA Magazine is literally in the heart of downtown LA. It's in the Engine Company 28 building. It's right next to the metro station. It's a walking distance from Skid Row. We're kind of nestled in where many of the restaurants, the legendary restaurants like the Pantry, are now out of business. But we've returned down to downtown LA to fight it out here. By contrast, the legacy media LA Times fled to El Segundo. In fact, a lot of people reference it as the El Segundo Times, but we're there, we're in downtown LA, and I jokingly say we've got Lebanon Alley behind us, but it really is nicknamed Fentanyl Alley. We have a tremendous problem in downtown Los Angeles. When you look back a mere 8 years ago, it was a destination. It was where people were moving. It was vibrant. It was something to behold. And I was born in downtown LA. I went to law school in downtown LA. I've been there for over 40 years practicing in downtown LA. So it's kind of like our last stand, so to speak.
So let me ask you this. The idea about this, you know, everybody's feeling it. Everybody has an opinion about it. What are you hearing in your circles? Is Pratt getting recognition? Is he getting this kind of attention? Is he getting support? Or are those who are looking at maybe Raman as kind of a middle ground candidate if they're displeased with Bass?
It's really been an amazing dynamic. 2 days ago, Mark Halperin, who's a political commentator, had made the prediction that Karen Bass wouldn't even get into the runoff. He's since revised that, actually, when he was being interviewed by Alina Bovian of LA Mag, the digital editor-in-chief, and said now that he doesn't think that Pratt will get into the runoff.
Right.
It is a fluid situation going into this, but only 2 out of those 3 are going to make it. There's been some speculation that Karen Bass would like to have or run against Spencer Pratt, because then she believes that all of the Nithya supporters would coalesce around her.
Right. And look, as I mentioned this before, the Palisades fire is going to be a big point of conversation, which actually, before I let you go, I got a legal issue going on here. So the Palisades fire, as it's been an issue in this race, did you know the prosecutors now say that the man that caused that, he looked up to Luigi Mangione as some sort of Robin Hood-like figure? That's a big development where you see the law crisscrossing with politics. How much, by the way, from a legal point of view, before I let you go, is that going to affect the case against him?
Well, I don't think there are legions of people who are supporters of him, especially in LA. I mean, the fires in Los Angeles have been such a traumatic and rightfully, so in terms of the devastation they did. It's not like the same situation, if you will, about Luigi Mangione. So I understand that he may, but it just takes one look at the suspect in the Palisades fire case to understand, if you look in his eyes, what the issues are there.
Hey, listen, the allegations facing both of them, nothing can be excused. I don't care who supports who or doesn't. Listen, Mark Geragos, great to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time. Even though I can't see you in person, I'd love to have you any which way I can get you.
Good to see you too, Jesse. And the pirate ship was one of the highlights.
It was a highlight for me too. I miss it every day. Thanks so much, sir. Good seeing you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.